Natasha Jiwani. I'm 14 years old, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make some really delicious brown butter blondies. So before we start, make sure to wash your hands and tie up your hair, and then preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And yeah, so the things we're going to use today for our brown butter blondies is we're going to need 1 1/3 cup of butter in a pot, 2 1/2 cups of brown sugar, 3 eggs, 2 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of vanilla, a pinch of salt, 2 3/4 cups of flour, and about 2/3 cup of walnuts. These are totally optional. You can also add in any other mix-ins you want. So the first step is we're gonna take our pot of butter to the stove and we're gonna brown our butter. So I'm gonna turn on the stove to about medium heat. And you don't need to mix your butter or anything. You're just gonna let that sit for about 5 to 7 minutes or until it gets nice and caramelized. Once your brown butter is ready, it should look like this. We are going to take it back to our working station. So we're gonna pour the hot brown butter right into our brown sugar in a mixing bowl. Put it off to the side. And using a whisk, we're just gonna mix it together. Oops. You might wanna come in with a spatula to make it a little bit easier. Scrape the sides and just combine it all together. So once it's combined, it'll look a little bit like this. You're gonna wanna add your 3 eggs. You can just add them all at the same time. You're gonna put 3 eggs in, as well as your vanilla extract. And just fold that and mix it together. I'm gonna start with my spatula, and I might move to my whisk if I decide that I need to. So once that's all whisked together, it'll smell so good. Like it almost smells like caramel because you caramelize the butter. So yummy. You're gonna pour in your flour along with your baking powder and a little pinch of salt. And you're just gonna start whisking and then end with folding. Slowly combine it. Be careful not to mix too fast or your flour will come up everywhere. That's not gonna be fun to clean up. So just mix that together slowly a little bit and then switch to your spatula and just gently fold it all together. So once all your flour is incorporated, it should look a little bit like this. It's gonna be super smooth and really delicious. And this is the finished batter. So feel free to just put this in your pan and bake it just like this. I'm gonna add some walnuts because it makes them so delicious, gives it some nice texture. So I'm pouring a little bit of my chopped up walnuts and just folding those in. And now my batter is finished, so I'm gonna set it to the side while I get my pan ready to go in the oven. So I'm just using a 9x9 pan. If you don't have a 9x9, you can use a 9x13 or whatever you have. The baking time might change a little bit depending if you go bigger or smaller, but it shouldn't matter too much. And I'm gonna use some pan grease. You can also spray your pan. And I'm just going to line my pan with a little layer so the blondies don't get stuck. This pan grease that I'm using is, I mixed flour, oil, and shortening together, and you mix that all together and it really helps. It's a really easy way to get your pans to not stick. If you want to use the spray, you can, and also you can butter your pans just like how I'm doing it with this spread with my pan grease. You can do it with butter and then put flour on top and mix that around. Probably a little bit healthier than the shortening, but this works really well, so that's why I like using this. So once your pan is greased, you're gonna put your batter in it. You might not use all your batter in this pan. You can use another pan if you need to, but you're gonna pour your batter into your pan. I'm putting the whole thing in there. And then you're just gonna spread out your Blondie batter, excuse me, and spread it around in your pan. And then this goes in the oven at 350 degrees for about half an hour, or until a toothpick comes out clean and you can tap it and it's good. So I'm gonna put this in and see you guys when it's done. So once 30 minutes is done, you're gonna open your oven and test your Blondies. I'm just gonna poke it with a little toothpick, and if it comes out clean or with a few crumbs on it, but no batter, you know your Blondies are done. I'm gonna take them out of the oven and enjoy your yummy Blondies. I'm gonna let these cool at room temperature for about 2 hours. If you don't have 2 hours, let it cool in room temperature for about 15 minutes, and then you can stick this in the fridge. If you really wanna get that nice clean cut, you do have to wait a little bit. But yeah, send me pictures of your finished products. You can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is at baking_with_nat. Or if you don't have an Instagram, you can email me. My email is bakingwithnat@gmail.com. I love to see how these turn out. I had so much fun baking with you guys, and see you next time.